Join us and discover beautiful beaches, rugged landscapes, pretty towns, desolate mountain ranges that sweep down to stunning lakes, unique architecture, history and folklore, no shamrocks, no shillelaghs, and definitely no shenanigans, just naked Ireland. So you may remember some months ago I looked at the Irish cultural institution known as the Rose of Tralee. Well, I'm back in beautiful Tralee again, not to focus on the major festival, but to look at the town itself, which as you'll see has much to offer. Tralee, from the Irish Trá Lí, meaning strand or beach of the Lee, is the county town of Kerry in the southwest of Ireland. It's set where the land meets Tralee Bay, sheltered by the Slieve Mish Mountains. Now the monument you see in front of you now is called the Pikeman, or it's also known locally as the Croppy Boy. It commemorates the men who fought and died in the 1798 rebellion, and those of you who've been watching my other videos will note that these United Irishmen statues are familiar in many Irish towns. While today it's a lively market, administrative and cultural centre, Tralee's history goes back many centuries. It has its Anglo-Norman foundations in the 13th century and became a medieval stronghold, and has seen rebellions, changing politics, changing ownership, even though perhaps some things never change. The town was founded in 1216 by the Anglo-Normans under John Thomas Fitzgerald and became a stronghold of the Earls of Desmond. In 1580, as part of the Desmond rebellions against Elizabeth I, the medieval town was burnt. Later, in 1587, Elizabeth I granted Tralee to Edward Denny. It was officially chartered in 1613. The street we're walking along now is Denny Street. The Denny family played a big part in the development of Tralee. They took over lands, built and shaped the town planning. The old castle of the Desmonds was eventually demolished. Its site influenced the layout of the modern Tralee. Denny Street, as you can see, is a wide, elegant Georgian street. It was laid out in 1826 on the site of that old castle. Many civic buildings date from this era. Lovely to see these old Georgian buildings in such good condition. At the end of Denny Street stands the Ash Memorial Hall, built in 1928 in red sandstone, dedicated to Thomas Ashe as one of the 1916 rising figures. It now houses the Kerry County Museum. Now off Denny Street and almost surrounding the museum is a large city park of about 35 acres in total. It occupies the old castle domain of the Dennys. And you may remember we saw this statue during my film of the Rose of Tralee, a kind of quintessentially Irish beauty pageant, and we looked at the names of the roses inscribed on the glass. Also within the park there's the Rose Garden and the Garden of the Senses, both designed to engage people in different ways. The site was landscaped in the 19th century with paths, trees, a grotto, entrance lodge, all that stuff. We're now approaching the Samshiteer. This is Ireland's national folk theatre and arts centre situated in the town's park. It produces regular folk theatre, music, cultural events and exhibitions. Its design in stone is obviously to represent the vernacular Irish architecture, or perhaps the architecture of ancient monastic settlements. If you come to Tralee, you might want to see something here, so check the local press for details, as we used to say. Now's a good time for me to ask you to like and subscribe. It's all so important so that I can develop the channel into something that's a great archive for us all. And hit the bell icon too to get an alert when I publish a new film. That only happens once a week, so it won't be annoying, I promise. Now as you can see, we're in the shopping area of the town, known as the Mall. Beautifully clean streets, as you can see. That's a common thing in a lot of our Irish towns, I'm pleased to say. Now Tralee, like many towns in Ireland, saw significant political turmoil in the 20th century, in the War of Independence and the Irish Civil War which followed. In 1920 there was an incident known as the Siege of Tralee, undertaken by the Black and Tans, who were mostly ex-British soldiers with a particularly heinous reputation. In response to IRA actions following the death of a prominent hunger striker, they imposed a curfew, shooting local people who appeared in the streets and stopping all food and drink from entering the town. Properties were burnt down and businesses were closed. In another notable atrocity, at Ballyseedy, close to the town, one of the most despicable acts of the Irish Civil War was carried out by Free State forces. They executed 8 anti-treaty prisoners by strapping them to a mine. It was another reprisal attack, but it shows how violence can spiral out of control. After all, these Free State forces and the anti-treaty prisoners had fought alongside each other against the British. There are lessons to be learned here, and not just for the Irish. And there's a nice lady, still in her jammies. It's about 6 p.m. here. Fair play to her. The square has been a market and trading area since the 1700s. It was redesigned and remodelled in 2004, and I must say it's looking very pristine today. Now, there's been controversy about how slippery this place becomes when wet. Fortunately, I got a lovely day for my visit, as you can see. Lovely looking wee pub there on the right. And speaking of pubs, you probably know by now that you can buy me a pint if you really like these Naked Ireland films. Just follow the link in the second paragraph of the description beneath this video and it'll take you straight to the donation page. Nothing could be simpler. And your donation helps in the production process and keeps these videos coming. Share the video too with your friends. I'd really appreciate your help in spreading the word and getting these films out to the world. So another great looking pub ahead of us. I'm very tempted by that. So now we've left the square and we're heading up Bridge Street. As always, lovely painted shop fronts, as you can see. It really is a very beautiful town. Now this little bar we're approaching on the right with the purple facade is Sean Oakes. It's an important part of Tralee's social life. I'll be making a separate film on Sean Oakes, but it's a good spot for traditional music and a cosy place to have that pint. Now Tralee was of course a harbour town originally, but alas the harbour has long ceased to be as important as it was due to silting and the shift to deep water elsewhere. It's an example of how geography can shift economic fortunes, but I've noticed there's still fish and chips and seafood to be had here, so don't worry, it won't impact you if you're dining out here, which I recommend. We're in Castle Street Lower now, not pedestrianised as you can see, so it feels a bit more vibrant. I mean, I guess you have to find the balance. The building that houses the Bank of Ireland here on the right in Lower Castle Street was originally a draper's shop, John Lumsden's, dating from 1838. It became the Munster and Leinster Bank. It's quite a nice Georgian building, as I hope you can see, although I admit I should have at least pointed the camera at it. Anyway, one does one's best, as they say. Quite a lot of traffic here, queuing up. I guess we're witnessing rush hour in Tralee. Perhaps the fact that there's so much of the town that's pedestrianised it puts a bit more pressure on the existing roads. We see here the St John the Baptist Roman Catholic Church. It was built in 1861, designed by J. McCarthy. The tower and spire was added later, around 1870. Now this is very special, I think. Designed by William Vitruvius Morrison and built in 1834, this neoclassical gem is complete with a prominent portico, steps, columns, and it serves as Tralee's courthouse. Let's just marvel for a minute at this beautiful building and its majestic setting. On its steps are two cannons, which are memorials to Kerry men who died in the Crimea War and the Indian Rebellion. So strong reminders here of the influence of British Empire, not just in Ireland but around the world. The sun never sets in the British Empire. I think that's what they used to say. So this has been Tralee. Obviously, there's always so much more to see, but this will give you a taste of the place. It's a place rooted in layers of history, rich in cultural life, and still full of stories both old and new. And now I'm off to Sean Oakes for a pint and then a bite to eat somewhere. So that's all from Tralee, but I'll see you all in the next Naked Ireland.